February is Psychology Month, and the Manitoba Psychological Society is planning a series of workshops for the public to enjoy. Here now to explain more about what you can expect is psychologist Dr. Joanna Bhaskaran. Thank you so much for chatting with me today.
I'm happy to be here.
Can you tell me a little bit about what Psychology Month is?
Yeah, so Psychology Month is basically a month where we recognize the importance that psychologists play in mental health across Canada. So Manitoba and other provinces actually recognize February as Psychology Month. And part of the service that psychologists do for this month is we have a number of psychologists that volunteer their time and speak on their areas of expertise on topics that may be relevant and important and interesting for the general public. So we have a number of workshops starting on February 1st. We're kicking off with this talk called I Like to Move It, Move It. So basically tools for motivation for getting off your couch when you don't feel like doing it. We have some talks on parenting. So our child psychologists have developed talks on, managing tantrums through connection, how to get your child to go to sleep and stay asleep. We've also had some psychologists that are doing talks on maternal mental health. So we recognize the period during pregnancy and after is a very sensitive period. So we have a psychologist doing a talk on that. We have talks on brain health, on self-compassion. We also have talks this year on how we can be allies to minority communities, talks on well-being in adult children of immigrants.
Have you guys held workshops in previous years?
Yeah, we have. Even during the pandemic, we swapped to doing these workshops virtually. And we found that people actually, especially in February in Winnipeg, people liked the convenience of a virtual workshop. And because of that popularity, we're actually continuing to offer many of our workshops virtually this year as well.
So why is it so important to hold those workshops?
So I think some of the reasons why we think it's important to hold the workshops is because people think that psychologists are people that you consult only when your mental health isn't great, right? Or you're struggling with something. And we recognize that psychologists play a role beyond that. We play a role in prevention. We play a role in psychoeducation, which is basically providing accessible information about psychological subjects. And these workshops are a really great way to talk about things that are important that people might not recognize that psychologists have expertise in and can provide information about. The theme of Psychology Month this year is Psychology is for Everyone. And so we're trying to include a number of talks in that space. In terms of, like I talked about, talking about immigrant mental health, talking about how we can be allies in the queer community, things like that. So we're really trying to emphasize psychology that's based on justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion principles this year.
How can people find out more if they're interested?
So you can actually go to the website, www.mps.ca. A number of our talks are virtual again this year. So no registration is required. Once you have the link, you can just join.